like that. Okay, describe your experience with organizational budgets.
As a member of the PTA for 2 years, we dealt with actually large budgets. I think our budget was right around $170,000. And it was important that every dollar that we spent went towards a goal, which was making the school better for our students. And it is important to keep that in mind, that every dollar that we have needs to go back into supporting our students. You know, we have wonderful programs that the PTA provides, and their enhancement opportunities. I think that was my favorite thing visiting all the schools, was how unique they are. That each one has their own identity, each one has their own character, and the parents are the ones who are driving that. And I truly enjoyed that experience. Knowing that and making sure that every dollar, as I mentioned before, was spent wisely. It wasn't, you have to treat every dollar as if somebody made a distinct decision to give you that dollar. You can't just take it for granted. We have limited money, we have limited funds, and we need to make sure that we are putting the money where it belongs.
Thank you. Rick?
So my experience with organizational budgets really goes back over 30 years when I was with Hughes Aircraft and was a program manager, project manager, and I had to deal with the budget. The government said they needed something, we had to build it, and we had to find a way to get it done on that budget. It involved managing lots of people and involved managing lots of tasks. Since that time at Hughes, I went on to get an MBA in finance at UCLA. That gave me further expertise in understanding finance and financials and how to interpret them. For 15 years after that, I was an investment banker advising CEOs in terms of how to deal with their financial situations and how to best position their companies and the financial results to give them the optimal result for the outcomes they wanted. And I also ran my own business. I had my own business that I managed and was CEO of for 5 years. Small business, wasn't as big as the school district. School district, we have a $125 million budget approximately. As I said, one of the things that I'm proud of is that I was part of the board that actually brought a balanced budget to the district. When I came onto the board, last year the budget was in deficit at $6 million. When we closed the year, it was at $3 million. And we had passed a budget that was $1 million looking forward into this year. And due largely to some of the upside in terms of how the budget got passed by the state, we ended up actually with a balanced budget right now for the first time in 12 years. Or sorry, 2012.
Thank you. Okay, Megan.
So I guess a couple things. I do balance my budget in everyday life. The teacher paycheck is slightly different than everyone else. We don't get paid every month, and so I do get paid 11 months out of the year, and so with my own personal budget, I do have to make sure that I have enough for each month, right, and other things that are going on. So I have that. Also, I was a leader of my social committee at my middle school, and so that was to build teacher camaraderie and get teachers to do more activities together. And so I collected funds from people, needed to make sure that we had enough funds to supply breakfast, lunches, and things like that. But I think it is important. The main thing we want is someone who we can trust with our money, right? And so it is important that we're fiscally responsible. We are stewards of public funds, and we need to put our money where our priorities are. And I think really most of it belongs in the classroom. And so if elected, I will do the best job that I can along with my fellow board members to make sure that we are being fiscally responsible with our decisions. And I know that a lot of our money comes from the EDA with students. We also have about $3 million a year with our education, Peninsula Education Foundation, as well as about $7 to $8 million a year with parcel tax. And so it is important that we be as fiscally responsible as possible with our budget.
Thank you. Jeanie.
I sat on many PTA boards, and if you ever have sat on the PTA board, the one thing we always talk about is budget, because budget drives our school. And what we do is we get money from parents who donate the money. And can I tell you that there's times that I've talked to the parents, and we've sat there and we agonize of what we can pay for and what we can't. One of the things that Ridgecrest is looking at is field trips, because the bus fare has gone up. And we have to make those hard decisions. And then we have to figure out how to fundraise for those things. And then we have to talk about these issues that we can. And so when we work at the budget, when you're on the PTA, you get a certain amount of money and you have to make that decision. And you have to figure out how to spend it. And so working on the PTA has really helped me with organization of budget. And also I think the one thing that's really helped me to do is to really analyze what programs are working and what programs are not. What should we fund and what should we not fund? And that's really important to understand when you're on the PTA and as a parent. And also it translates to the budget of the district. Because sometimes when you see things, when you see it on the grass level and when you see it in the grassroots level at what's happening at the school, sometimes that is what's really important. That's what you have to see, and that is what our money. And also when you talk to parents, like having world language at the elementary school level, we need to look at things that our kids need and how can we budget for that? Also at the PTA level, at the school level, but also at the district level.
Thank you. Okay, this